What's good, YouTube? This is going to be my non-spoiler review for Transformers Rise of the Beast. To start, I should probably mention this was my number one most anticipated movie for this year, so with that in mind, I have to be honest and say I don't believe it lived up to the hype that I personally placed on it, so in a way I feel like that affected my viewing for the first half, but also in my opinion this movie does a really great job at feeling different from the other Transformers movies, and I really found myself enjoying it by the end. One quick and funny thing I noticed without realizing before seeing this was when Noah's mom first comes in and starts talking. I was like, where did I just hear that voice from? And a Google search later, I found that Miles' mom from Across the Spider-Verse is voiced by the same actress, and just thought that was pretty hilarious seeing these movies in back-to-back weeks. As far as Noah's brother, he was awesome, had a fun personality to him, but also the heartfelt moments that they had, I felt they did a great job with, and didn't just make him like a comedic relief or, the young kid who's reacting to everything. The real comedic relief was really the person I was most skeptical when it came to voices, and that was Pete Davidson. I just wasn't sure how much of a everything would be a joke type character he was going to be, whether it would be just everything joke after joke. In some ways it was like that, but I honestly by the end came to think the way he voiced that role was perfect. He as well doesn't just have all this comedic stuff going on. They do add some real seriousness to his character at times that I was surprised by and really found myself enjoying. I like what they did with Optimus Prime in this. Feels like he's still trying to become a leader in a sense, and Optimus Primal almost feels like what I'm familiar with Prime being like in the other movies. Really like the dynamic there, and adds almost some backstory and character growth for if there are actual future movies that come from this. Scourge was pretty epic of a villain, especially after seemingly always dealing with Megatron in every movie, and being voiced by Peter Dinklage. I was a shock to me seeing that. I didn't realize until seeing after, but yeah, it was awesome, and of course, it's kind of hard to tell because of all the voice work that they probably do with it, the vocals and everything. But he just, it was awesome. Really enjoyed him as a villain, and I am torn with the idea of using Unicron so early if this is a reboot in a sense, because I think they did a better job than they did in The Last Knight, but I'm just curious to see where things go from here. As for all the other Transformers, this was the best job of all of them that made each one feel unique with how they looked, functioned, transformed. Everything was a step up from the Michael Bay ones, honestly. It was great. I loved just the colors and everything. It all just looked very just unique and different than what we're used to. Now, with the human character aspect of it, which is the least liked in these movies, I will say I believe they have gotten better with how they incorporate them into the story. Of course, there's still some facepalm moments with it in some situations. I don't think they'll ever get away from that, but maybe not as many as in the previous ones, so that's progress, right? The thing they use in here that is able to allow Noah to become useful in a Transformers movie as a human character was fantastic to me. Very shocked that it's taken this long for them to include something like this, but I thought it was just, amazing. I don't believe these movies will ever be grounded enough to not have aspects like this, so I just feel like if you can make it more enjoyable with humans involved, rather than them being just like damsels in distresses or whatever, this is a fun route to take it, at least until we can get a full Cybertron movie, or one with no humans, however long that will be. The end, like the very end, was so unexpected to me. I really wasn't sure what to think or how to feel as it was all going down and unfolding and then being revealed and just whatnot. On one hand, I think it could be an interesting concept and has some pretty good potential, but also not too sure how story-wise it would work, and the idea of people wanting limited humans involved has it already in a tough spot, but I do hope they find a way to pull it off. I'm very optimistic. Couple quick things to point out. Bumblebee, still awesome and badass, love him. The way Noah ends up with Mirage, I will admit I'll always enjoy and prefer the first time Sam comes across Bumblebee. Maybe it's just the nostalgia for me and it being, the first Transformers movie and coming out when I was just, younger and whatnot. But It's just the most fun way that it's been done, in my opinion, out of all the times. But also, I do give them credit for coming up with a different way than we've seen usually. When it comes to ranking this movie on my scale, like I mentioned before, this movie had high expectations for me personally. And while I probably can safely say it's not going to be my #1 movie this year, it also didn't completely let me down in areas it easily could have. I feel like it had enough added elements that haven't been seen in previous ones to possibly take it in a more exciting direction, pending any greenlit sequels, which have sort of been confirmed as far as like who might direct goes, but I don't think there's any been confirmation of a sequel yet. Also, this had more likable human characters, in my opinion, with somewhat more of a purpose to him. That's why, as much as I wish it could be a 1, it's going to have to be a 2 for me. As much as I love Transformers, it's got to be a 2. I think it's for sure rewatchable, in my opinion, and feel like most will like this on the same level as they did Bumblebee, more than the Bayverse movies. But have you seen Transformers Rise of the Beast yet? If so, let me know down below what you thought of it and where you would rank it among all the Transformers movies we've gotten so far. If you enjoyed my review, please hit the thumbs up. I'd appreciate it. If you want to see more of my videos, just subscribe and I'll catch you in those. And remember, there is more than meets the eye. Till then, take it easy.